Hi guys, welcome back to Paper Confessions with Karamia. Hope you guys are all doing well and had a wonderful weekend. Back with week 2 of our vintage sewing pattern challenge. Last week the theme was vintage and we had so much fun showing you guys different ideas on how to use your vintage pattern. And they look like these. So the challenge is to make 5 items for your junk journal. This week it is fall. I've also created a playlist here on my channel with the same hashtag. Carol from Crinkled Path had also joined and had shared some wonderful ideas and 5 items that she created for her junk journal. Today, I'm going to be sharing what I'll be doing in my fall gratitude journal. Every year I have a gratitude journal. Last year, I dedicated 2 mini journals and used them for my entries for the fall. They were made by super sweet, crafty friends, Christine from Kawaii Memo Love and by Mimi with Love. So I will link that at the end. It was a beautiful open collaboration last year that was hosted by Creating with Jovi and Lilo Crafts. And I'm hoping that they'll do it again this year. Today we are going to be working in this journal. So this fabric cover was something I had initially worked on for one of my first travel journals when I was just starting making my junk journals. I didn't want to throw it away, so I wanted to reuse it. And so what I've done is I've created a single signature in here, and you can see the beautiful fall colors on here, some oranges, and just different pages that I can create my page layouts for the fall season. Today I'm going to show you how to make a fabric scroll book plate for your junk journal. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and then incorporating some of the pattern paper in it. I'm also going to be talking about neutral blooms. So in the summer, once we're coming to the end of the season, the spring blooms turn dry or, the flowers fall off. But I did find a floral bush. It was with wild roses and they look beautiful. Even though the flowers had dried up, it just had this beautiful look to it. I'm going to see if I can post a photograph here showing you what that looks like. But today, the inspiration for the cover is this beautiful sticker, and I'll put an insert shot right here that was gifted to me in one of my swaps, and it has the perfect theme. She looks super dreamy and just welcoming to the fall season. You can see the fall leaves. So I'm going to be using that on the cover. I have some of my fabrics here. You can see that we have all these gorgeous colors. When I think of fall, I think of nature. I think of brown colors. We have the oranges, the greens, even the reds and the blues. So those are the colors that I will be incorporating on our fabric scroll. And so I have pulled a piece of fabric. So I thought I would go with this. I initially was testing the oranges and the blues. But I felt for this particular piece, I wanted to use something a little bit more neutral and softer. So I am going with this beautiful fabric with some blue flowers on it. So we're going to do that. And then what I did with my sticker was I had put it on top of paper that had some text on it, and did some distress inking around it. So we're going to be creating a little collage on our fabric scroll here. And since we're talking about nature, I wanted to bring in some natural elements to it. So I have some of these twigs that I picked along the way when Finn and I were walking, when my puppy and I were walking. We'll pick one of those, and let's see. Let me just size it up. This will be too long. I mean, I could go this way, but since I'm going with the scroll, I think I'm going to be going with the kind of shorter sticks here because I'm going to be having it held up like this. But I kind of like that this one has that thicker look to that. What do you think, guys? I think I may go with this one. We'll see how this looks. So first, let's work on our base. I feel like we need colors. I love blue. So let's see. I wonder if I should add, I think that's a little, that is beautiful. That's a little dark though. I also have some of these. Let's see how she looks on top. That might work. I love that it's kind of like this fresh, and it's easing to the eyes. It's not so powerful, or like not a strong color. So I'm going to cut that up real quick here on the side, and let me come back. All right, guys, I am back. So I have cut a little bit. I want to have some of that there. Let's see. And then we'll just kind of trim it. Or let me see how it, maybe like this. Okay, let's start with that. Use some of our fabric glue, and we will attach it to our fabric. Do you guys have any plans this fall season? I know that my daughter Emmy, the school district has started kind of mid school year before what do you call it, Thanksgiving break. So in October we're gonna have kind of like a pre-winter break, and so I don't know what we'll be doing. We'll probably be staying home. It might be a 4-day weekend for us, but we have already made plans for December, and it gets really expensive when you travel, so we will see what we will do. Okay, now where do we put our beautiful girl? I feel like something should be behind her. Let's see, what about this? Ooh. It kind of buries all the, we can't see the blue anymore. I mean, I love that peach color. Let me see if I should put it here a little bit. Maybe we'll cut a piece of that, but still have the blues kind of peeking out there. So let me do that and cut that. Okay, I've cut just a little piece of this scallop edge here. And I'm thinking we also need something else that kind of pops with color, and then I will incorporate our pattern paper. So this was gifted to me by Felicia from FP Handmade. I think it is so beautiful. I love, again, the blues and some of the yellows there. So let's do some placement here to see where we will put this beautiful, oh wow, I think that looks great over there. So let me go ahead and apply some of this glue here. So I've been loving seeing what everyone so far has shown. Make sure to add the hashtag if you decide to share your project share. That way BB and I can have a look and check out your wonderful creations. Otherwise we will miss it. I mean, there's so many videos and channels that we follow that sometimes it gets buried unless you add a hashtag that we can click on, how like we do Tea Tuesday. It really, really helps to see. I think let's lower it like right here. Okay, I'm gonna glue her down. But I have been just enjoying this. I was telling BB that this has been really giving me a chance to kind of encourage me to use her stash and also kind of reignite the creative, juices that I've been feeling a little uninspired. But I think doing these collaborations helps all of us kind of just get out there, do it again, And I think it's looking good, guys. What do you think? Okay, now we need this right here, but to hold it in place, let me see if I have some scraps that, let's see. I think this is too bright. Kind of really like this one too. Okay, and I have some of these kind of orange. Ooh, that looks good too. But let me see how that wraps around our twig. Will it give us enough space to kind of attach it and kind of give us that look? Let me get our cover just to measure. And that's the beauty of these scrolls. You can use your fabric remnants. It's almost like a paper collage only with fabric, and then kind of do some play here and just see how you want to compose. So we will probably do that. And again, we still have the fabric peeking. We have it in the back, so that's not an issue there. And I will trim this. So I think I'll have it sit right there. Let me see if I have another one. Hold on. Something like this. And now where do we incorporate our pattern paper? I like creating different contrasts. So I think, let me see. I have some paper left over, pattern paper here. I could just create some strips that I can cut and put on there just to create some, you know, some of those brown colors that we see in the fall. So let's see, size-wise. I'm gonna cut that. Ooh, perfect fit. And then I will see how this one here. That, or should I thin that out? I may have to cut it just a little bit so we can still see the fabric. Let's see, maybe this way. Like that. Glue it down. And I think we still need something to kind of, you know, push up those colors. So I think I'm going to trim this just a tad. There you go. We'll glue that down. Okay, I've cut just a little piece of this scallop edge here. And I'm thinking we also need something else that kind of pops with color, and then I will incorporate our pattern paper. So this was gifted to me by Felicia from FP Handmade. I think it is so beautiful. I love, again, the blues and some of the yellows there. So let's do some placement here to see where we will put this beautiful. Oh, wow. I think that looks great over there. So let me go ahead and apply some of this glue here. So I've been loving seeing what everyone so far has shown. Make sure to add the hashtag if you decide to share your project share. That way BB and I can have a look and check out your wonderful creations. Otherwise, we will miss it. I mean, there's so many videos and channels that we follow that sometimes it gets buried unless you add a hashtag that, you know, we can click on. You know how like we do Tea Tuesday? It really, really helps to see. I think let's lower it. Like right here. Okay. I'm gonna glue her down. But I have been just enjoying this. I was telling BB that this has been really giving me a chance to kind of encourage me to use our stash and also kind of reignite the creative, you know, juices that I've been feeling a little uninspired. But I think doing these collaborations helps all of us kind of just get out there, do it again. And I think it's looking good, guys. What do you think? Okay, now we need this right here, but to hold it in place, let me see if I have some scraps that, let's see. I think this is too bright. Kind of really like this one too. Okay, and I have some of these kind of orange. Ooh, that looks good too. But let me see how that wraps around our twig. Will it give us enough space to kind of attach it and kind of give us that look? Let me get our cover just to measure. And that's the beauty of these scrolls. You can use your fabric remnants. It's almost like a paper collage only with fabric, and then kind of do some play here and just see how you want to compose. So we will probably do that. And again, we still have the fabric peeking. We have it in the back, so that's not an issue there. And I will trim this. So I think I'll have it sit right there. Let me see if I have another one. Hold on. Something like this. And now where do we incorporate our pattern paper? I like creating different contrasts. So I think, let me see. I have some paper left over, pattern paper here. I could just create some strips that I can cut and put on there just to create some, you know, some of those brown colors that we see in the fall. So let's see, size-wise. I'm gonna cut that. Ooh, perfect fit. And then I will see how this one here. That, or should I thin that out? I may have to cut it just a little bit so we can still see the fabric. Let's see, maybe this way. Like that. Glue it down, and I think we still need something to kind of, you know, push up those colors. So I think I'm going to trim this just a tad. There you go. We'll glue that down. All right, guys, so I have basically glued on our pattern paper on these scraps of fabric, and I have punched some holes here at the bottom. So when I wrap it around, I'm going to attach one of these brads. Initially, I was thinking of putting smaller ones, but I'm kind of really loving this kind of pearl looking piece. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to wrap it around like this. And so that we can hold it in place. I may have to put some glue here so that it doesn't shift. So let me go, now that I know that it's going to be around this area. Let's do that. And I think I like that sticking up, so I just want to make sure we have it kind of like this. Then we'll put our brad in. And then you can adjust that right here. And we'll just glue it on top of our fabric. So you see how this has a little, we want to make sure that with your wood twig to lay it flat. Like don't have something that's pointing out like that. So you can, when you put it down, now let's put some here. I think that looks good. I love a little bling, but it's kind of still a little bit more subdued. It's not really rhinestone shiny, but it has that beautiful, elegant look to it. So we have this second one here. Put our brad in. That is not aligned, so make sure you got your fabric aligned. There you go. And then I will, okay. So now the next step is to attach this to the fabric. And this time I think I'm going to use a little bit of fabric glue and maybe a glue gun this other part, just because I want to make sure it really stays in place. And it looks like it's time to restock on my fabric glue. This may work actually, hold on. So far so good. We'll give that a nice trim. I kind of like this little drop here. I'm gonna let that set and I'll be back. All right guys, I am back. My camera was not recording and I was making this little rosette, but it's not like the perfect looking rosette. What I did was basically did a rough tear, not a straight one. You can see how uneven and unstraight this is. And what I did was just kind of fold, almost like an accordion fold. And then I started gluing and just going in a circle until I achieve this look here. And then at the bottom there, you will see I added one of the Tim Holtz little metal wax seal embellishments there to add to it. And I love the saying. We will show you that in just a few. So let me put this aside. It is still drying, but that is our fabric scroll book plate for our journal. So the next second item that I made for our junk journals using the pattern paper are neutral blooms. I used some of the wood veneer cutouts from some florals and decoupage some of the pattern paper here. So you can see it here. It almost reminds me of the stained glass that you see in churches, only in a neutral color. I could add some color in the future, but for this particular project, I kind of want to keep it a little bit more muted because our background is already really bright and colorful. And so what I have is this wonderful pocket that was gifted to me by Lori from PV Pie Designs. It's an envelope pocket and I've embellished it with some gold trim, some leaves. And we're just going to make it a little bit more elevated and add a little bit more of the colors. Since again, we have these gorgeous peach in the background, beautiful white lace. And so we're going to add some more colors. So I'm thinking I'll put some ginkgo leaf here, some faux ginkgo leaf, put it down, maybe some of this, I think that'll work, our autumn leaves. Let me get some fabric glue and just put that down. I'm not gonna glue it all the way down. I kind of like keeping it free just to give it some movement and make it feel like it's a real leaf. So I'm just gonna put some at the bottom there and put it just a little bit here. Now this guy will need a little bit of glue because we have this really tough plastic and I don't think it's gonna, the fabric glue won't hold that down. So let me put some glue stick on there. And then we will push that down. And we'll lay this guy down here. Now, picking the right bloom to go in there. So we have this really large one. Let's see. I don't know if I like that there. Hopefully this one. Yes, I think this cutie will work perfectly there. So I'm going to put some of our glue on the back here. Oh, no, we'll do some glue stick. Just a little bit at a time. And again, you know, you can definitely use your favorite adhesive when doing this. And you know, like Dollar Tree had a lot of these wood veneer pieces, and I didn't really know what to do, but I think this is a great idea to kind of add another layer to how your embellishment looks like. And I think it looks awesome. So just like that, we have created a wonderful embellishment for our pocket. I'm going to glue this down here, and then I'm going to show you the third item that we will be adding into this pocket. All right, guys, so I have our little journaling tag that we'll be putting in our pocket. You can see I've used some of the pattern paper there just to create, again, a little bit of contrast. Now, the back side is white and really stark looking, so to add a little bit of color and texture, I have just glued down some of this pattern paper, and I love the kind of running stitch look there. Added some of our little trim here for our pull, and then now we can put it in our pocket. It is super cute and super easy, and then we have a little windowed pocket there. And that is number 3. So the next one we are going to work on is creating a collage, and also using some of the pattern paper. So when it comes to creating a layout for my collages, I tend to go with a more neutral palette when I start and kind of just build up from there. So for example, we have this in the background, we have some text and some of these chevron stripes. So let's see what we can do by using just a simple way of creating a collage background and then kind of bringing in some color there. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these pieces of paper down. So it's nice to start with probably some rectangle shapes and kind of layer them. So if you want to go with some text in the background, you can definitely do that and add something a little bit more lighter on the front. So let's go ahead. I like how that looks. I'm going to start here. And again, you can see that I am just I'm not cutting with straight lines and kind of mixing up our straight edge paper with some of these raggedy edged ones. I think it just adds so much fun and interest on your collages. And then we have this here. I may add her up here. I just love that color. Or I may add her down here. And then add something else up here. Like this. So anything goes when it comes to collaging. It just definitely depends on the eye of the beholder. It depends on what you like to see. So here again, I'm just pulling and putting some colors of browns, and we'll see if we have some blues that we can add in the mix here. Glue it down like that. Also have these beautiful kind of handmade paper with the petals. That would be nice there. So we're going to add that. And then I am just going to probably speed up the video and continue collaging and showing you my process. So here we go. Enjoy. guys, so here we have our completed little layout on our pages for our fall gratitude journal. And what we've done is just again added some different contrast using the pattern paper that has some of the text here. I think it's so pretty. We still have lots of space to write on, some of them here with an overlay. And that's one example of how you can use it in your collages in your journal. So now let me show you the fifth idea, or of what you can do is sometimes I don't have enough pages in my journal and I've used it up, but I still want to write and I still want to add more details. So the next item I want to show you or idea is to create a hinge to add a page extension to an existing page that you have in your journal. Super simple. We're going to use our pattern paper. Again, something that it is pretty soft. So what I would do is fold it. This is something that Carol had also shown on her channel, where to make it a little bit more sturdy, you would fold it and glue it down, and then it gets a little thicker. So that way, if you create that hinge, it then creates a stronger tab for your page. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the pattern paper that I'll be using for our extension. All right, guys, so here we have our little hinge. I just attached it with brads on this journal card. So I folded it over, attached some of our double-sided adhesive, and now we're going to create our page extension. I just want to make sure I pull it back like this, and hopefully that goes in the right spot. Hold on. So here you have it. Then it opens up and you have your little hinge. Now that is a little too long. You may want to trim it if you would like, if it doesn't bother you. In my case, I like things, again, a little grungy and not super perfect. So there you go. You have your extension. Alternatively, you could make it a little bit wider. So for example, you would use a larger piece of your pattern paper. So it would be this, and we just fold it in half and then create the hinge and attach your page to it. I wanted to just kind of carry the same style with our brads in the front with our cover. So there you have your little page, little tab to create an extension on an existing journal page. All right, guys, quick recap. We did our beautiful fabric scroll using our pattern paper to embellish our little holder for our twig. Also created a paper rosette here. Look at that beautiful quote, and it just makes it stand out. And we have our beautiful fabric layering here with some of our trims and appliques and a beautiful image. And immediately it has created a wonderful book plate for your journal. And then inside, I have used some of our wood veneer flowers and created neutral blooms, decoupaging our wood veneer flowers, created a pocket. We also made a fun, very simple but easy tag, again creating contrast with our neutrals and creating another journaling spot, also adding some fun texture to our tag. And then we created our page layout and did a collage using some of our pattern paper, and then we did our hinge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this fall little craft with me for our vintage sewing pattern challenge. And again, please make sure to check out BB's channel and see what she's made. And also click on the hashtag. That way it will show you which other channels are participating. Make sure to also check out Carol Crinkled Pat's channel to see what she has made this week. Or if you missed what she made last week, make sure to check out. I will put that link to our playlist at the end. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thanks again for watching. Bye.